Hi. I want to start by welcoming you all to Ethan and Kierra's wedding. For those that don't know me, my name is Cambry, and if you couldn't tell, I'm Kierra's younger sister. Kierra decided from the moment I was born and she found out I was a girl that we would be best friends. It didn't take me long to realize how truly blessed I was to not only have an older sister, but for that sister to be Kierra. Kierra and I shared a room for around 14 years, and through those years, we have built a strong relationship. Although we have had our fair share of disagreements, usually over clothes, we could never stay mad at each other for long. Kierra, you have always been the person I look forward to telling exciting news to, but you are also the one I come to when I need someone to talk to. You have given me so much advice over the years that I'm forever grateful for. I tell you things that I don't want anyone else to know, even though I know you'll end up telling Mom just a couple of minutes later. Kierra, I want to thank you for everything you have done for me throughout my life, whether it be doing my hair, picking out outfits, and always being someone I could turn to when I needed help or just someone to listen. You have been one of the biggest role models in my life. I have always looked up to you and aspired to have your level of determination, kindness, thoughtfulness, honesty, creativity, and so much more. Growing up, I was always told how similar I was to Kierra, and I used to get annoyed by that because we were two different people. But then I realized how much of a compliment it truly was, because in my eyes, Kierra was and always will be perfect. Kierra, I have modeled my life after yours in the way you care for others and how you keep God at the center of your life. Kierra, I hope you know how much I will miss sitting in your room while you clean it, telling you stories while you work, getting ready together, and going on random shopping trips with you. And Ethan, I don't plan on this changing, but I will miss being able to walk down the hall and being able to talk to my best friend. I will miss our late night talks when I can't stop laughing, and you start to get frustrated with me because you just want to go to sleep. I will miss all these things. However, you won't be getting rid of me that easily. I'm so glad that you will only be living in town because I don't know how I could live any further from you. I'm so grateful that I have an older sister like you that will be brutally honest with me, whether I want to hear it or not, because you have made my life so much easier and better. Ethan, I don't think I've ever told you this before, but when I first heard about you, I wasn't too thrilled. I thought that you were going to come into Kierra's life and her and I would grow distant. I had this idea in my head that when I met you, I was going to be the protective younger sister, and I was going to be guarded because I didn't think anyone would treat my sister the way she deserves to be treated. Then I met you, and I realized that that couldn't be further from the truth. You walked into our house, and I knew that I couldn't even pretend to be mad at you because I knew you would never hurt my sister. The way you are always smiling from ear to ear, no matter what is happening, never fails to inspire me. I knew Ethan was the one when he came to pick up Kierra from a date, and the boys were target practicing in the backyard. And we're shooting, and Ethan still continued to come back. You have never failed to make me feel included, whether it be you and Kierra picking me up from school and us going back home and watching The Bachelor together, to taking me to get ice cream or making fun of Kierra with me. The way we can joke about the interesting meals Kierra chooses to eat, to how much she overpacks, her sometimes crazy driving, and how she can never stay awake for a full movie. These moments may have been small, and you probably forgot about most of them, but they are memories I will never forget. Whether you realize it or not, you have helped Kierra and I to grow our relationship even more than I ever thought possible. Ethan, thank you for caring so deeply about my sister and treating her the way she deserves to be treated. I genuinely don't think that I could have picked a better man to marry my sister than you. It has been such a joy to watch your relationship grow over the last 5 years. I see the way you bring joy to Kierra's life by the way her face lights up when she sees you or when she's talking about you. Ethan, I hope you always cherish the time you have growing old with Kierra as much as I have cherished the years I've grown up with her. Kierra, I hope you realize how lucky you are to have someone like Ethan that will do anything he can to make your days just a little bit better and who loves you unconditionally. Congratulations, and now could everyone raise their glass to Kierra and Ethan that their marriage may be filled with love, joy, and laughter. Woo! You did so good.
I'll give you a hug. Well, imagine having to follow that up. One more quick round of applause for Cambria, if you guys wouldn't mind. That was phenomenal. If you don't know me, I'm Ethan's older brother, Justin. I'm 8 years older, and I've had the privilege of watching him grow up to the point where I actually vividly remember the day you were born. I was actually in Mrs. Treewaller's class. Jamie, I saw you somewhere. Where you at? Yeah. We were watching the movie Dinosaur, and Dad came and picked me up, and I was pretty fired up to hear that it was a boy. Leslie, you were awesome, but I was ready for another male presence in the house. You know, we're 8 years apart, but Ethan and I are the same person in a lot of ways. He's a much better version of me, but I remember growing up with him so vividly. You know, 8 years, like when I graduated high school, he was in 4th grade, and we did everything together. I mean, I remember all the times going with him and Dad to the farm and playing sports, and well, I didn't think there was any chance I was going to cry, but I'm choking up a little bit. I just, you're my best friend, and I value our relationship more than anything else. And so given the fact that you were able to find Kierra, I think their relationship's so unique. You know, we talk about sports. It's a huge part of our lives. It's a huge part of the culture of both of our families. Ethan and I have never really talked girls much, but one of the things as I kind of thought about this speech that stood out to me is I've never heard him talk about another girl. It was always Kierra, which was really unique and really special. I think they were together for a long time. I know that they were together for a long time, but I think that's very unique and pretty special. So, given that you're marrying a better version of me, I was married 3 years ago, and I think my wife will appreciate this too. I can give you a little bit of advice in terms of what you're about to get into. So, first, this is not uncommon. Most men are messy. Ethan's pretty messy. He's pretty messy. To the point, though, where, it's funny. They got engaged about a year ago. He moved back from SVSU at the start of the summer, and Mom was waterworks. Mom was doing a lot of crying. She's wiping her eyes right now. But the funny thing about it is, if you go up into Ethan's room right now, it's a war zone. I mean, you can't find anything. To my understanding, he's gotten after the women in the house a little bit because he couldn't find a softball jersey at times. And my only advice is just to be patient with him, Kierra. And Ethan, maybe change your tone a little bit when you can't find your softball pants because you're gonna have to work on it a little bit. So next, like I already referred to, sports is such a huge part of both of our family's lives and cultures. And Ethan's 22 years old. So he one of the cool things about our relationship is I got hired in Saginaw Township at Heritage in 2020, and that was the spring heading into Ethan's freshman year, and he chose to go to Saginaw Valley State, and we got to spend a year living in the same house and 4 years living in the same city, which was really cool. Ethan found some ways to bring in some creative revenue streams while he was in college. He's already working for auto owners, correct? Auto owners, right? I was State Farm auto owners, but he's gotten to be a pretty good gambler, a very responsible but a pretty good gambler. And the reason that I bring this up, Kierra, is because if you do it correctly and you're a half decent negotiator, you can get some new leggings or some new hoodies out of the whole thing, My advice is pretty simple, is just to let him do his thing because he's actually pretty good at it. Grandma, don't worry, he's really responsible. Father Eric, you guys got nothing to worry about, but if you can do the math, he's 22 years old. The IRS thinks it's been Leslie gambling for the last 3 years. It hasn't been Leslie. Ethan's gotten pretty good at it, and again, he's responsible. If he had a problem, I wouldn't bring it up right now. So, lastly, as a Phelan, Ethan's never taken losing very well, which is, Dad and I don't know where he got it. But he doesn't take his favorite sports teams losing all that well, whether it be Michigan State or the Lions or whatever it may be. So again, I've been married for 3 years now. Kierra, if you're doing it right, you might find a different room to watch the games in at times. And just accept the fact that when he's yelling at the TV, what a lot of, like my wife doesn't understand, what my mom doesn't understand is the players can't actually hear us, and we have a responsibility to will our teams to victory. And when it doesn't go well, when they lose, when the Lions inevitably lose to somebody they shouldn't, or Michigan State Hoops loses to Nebraska in the Breslin or something next winter, just have his shoes and his headphones sitting by the door because he likes to take walks and he likes to call me and vent for about 30 to 45 minutes, and we contemplate life together for a little bit. So I just think that will ease the first year at least of your marriage. So no, on a more serious note, just to finish up, I know I already said this, our relationship means the world to me. You're my best friend, and as somebody whose faith it's the most important thing in my own life, you look at your younger siblings and you hope that you find somebody that they're going to be able to build a home with, like Father said today in his homily. I think the most important thing you can do in finding a spouse is finding somebody who's running the same race as you, and who values the things that you value and is looking to build a family in the same way that you want to build a family. And I don't know, Kierra, I've never said this to you personally, but I think you're perfect. I think you're as good as they come, and I couldn't imagine anybody better being the mother to my younger brother's future children. So if you guys wouldn't mind raising your glasses to Ethan and Kierra, to a very happy and blessed marriage. Cheers. Woo! Great speech.
Good?
How are you?
All right, and then before we put the mic down and let the music start again, I wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone for coming and celebrating us tonight. It means so much. But I also wanted to sorry. I will not be tossing this. I want to give it to my mom. She could come up here quick. I don't know what I did, sorry. I just wanted to give this to you quick because you're my best friend. And not only have we been talking about this day since me and Ethan have started dating on our walks, and when I inevitably brought it up one day and she already knew he was proposing, and and on the walk she just said, "We need to stop talking about this." And I was like, well, that was aggressive. And now here we are. She's helped me plan the past year together along our side, and I just appreciate everything that she's done by my side, from when I was a little girl till now. And so, just that bouquet is for you, and I just appreciate everything you've done for me.
Let's give it up one more time for the best man, maid of honor, and the bride. All right, once the dance floor gets cleared, we'll get the ceremonial dances underway. We can get this party started, so please be patient. We'll get that underway soon.